This video will illustrate how to track the progress of learners in the ActiVise sequencing software. There are 6 games in the software in total, and 3 of the games will track the learner's progress as they play the games. One of the games will track the progress of any learner, even those entered as a guest user. The other activities that will track the learner's progress require them to enter as a returning user. We will firstly look at the activity that can be used to track the progress of any learner. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use the topic numbers 1 to 10. And at the moment, I've excluded the final 5 steps in the topic to make the sequence easier for the learner to use. So I wish to assess them on the first 5 steps. The activity that will assess all learners' progress is Scaleometer. Select the topic for which you wish to track the learner's progress. The wheel will show all the steps in the sequence with one missing. The learner needs to identify the missing step in the sequence verbally to a parent, teacher or tutor, or to identify it for themselves by clicking the reveal button. Depending on how confidently and how quickly they identified the missing step will depend upon how you score them on the scale from 1 to 10. Choose a score and then click the Next button. The sequence appears again with another step missing. The sequence will appear showing each step missing once, and you will have the opportunity to score the learner's response in identifying the missing step. Once a score has been recorded for each missing step, the activity will finish. A print button will appear and a printout of how you scored the learner in relation to identifying the missing step will be provided. We will now look at how you track the learner's progress in the 2 activities that can be used to track the progress for a returning user. So I need to enter as a returning user. The 2 activities that we can use are the one-player activities. Select the topic, and in this activity the learner has to sequence the steps in the order in which they think they are located. Click Check, and the green and red borders indicate whether the steps have been correctly or incorrectly located. The learner has 3 attempts to locate all the steps. Click Next. The correct steps remain, and the learner can reposition the incorrect steps. Once the game is over, you will be asked whether you wish to track that attempt. Not every attempt has to be tracked. Click Yes. Then click on the Options button and select My Profile. And you will see a recording of how each step was located, whether it was located on the first attempt, the second attempt, the third attempt, or whether it was excluded from being included in that topic within the game. So we can see that the first and second step were both located along with the 5th step on the first attempt, whilst the 3rd and 4th step were located on the 2nd attempt. We can also print this record. Once you have the information from the tracking, return to the Enter Your Content button, identify the topic, and you may wish to add in a further step as the learner becomes more confident. We'll go now to the second activity that will track the learner's progress as a returning user. In this activity, we need to drag and drop the step to the position in which we believe it should be correctly located. If it is correctly located, the border of the box will turn green. If it is incorrectly located, the border of the box turns red, and it is shown as correctly located within the yellow border. Each step will be presented to the learner twice within the activity, and the learner will need to try and locate each step correctly both times. The learner may choose to click on the Reveal Sequence button, but the number of times that this button is clicked within the game is also recorded within the tracking. Once the game is complete, click the Game Over dialog and answer the question whether you wish to track that attempt. Go to the Options button, click My Profile, and we can now see whether each step was located correctly on the first attempt and the second attempt at which each step was presented to the learner. So we can see quite clearly that number 5 was not located correctly within the sequence on either of the attempts in which it was presented to the learner. We can also see that some steps were still excluded. This record can be printed. This video has provided an overview of how to track a learner's progress within 3 of the games within the ActiVise sequencing software. The next video will look at how to monitor the progress of multiple users within the ActiVise sequencing software.